Welcome to this another lecture on Python. This is lecture number 9 of this Python series. And today we are going to learn about where we left yesterday. That is the data structures, the various types of lists, and then we will be completing the remaining type of data structures. So to give you a quick overview of what we have done till now in this course, I will give the link of my website to you in the description, and you can check what this course is about and how far we have done till now. Okay, so we have completed the module number 1, that is introduction to coding and installations. Okay, in that we completed lecture number 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then in module number 2 we did some case studies, and one case study was related to the design of water distribution system using Python, and the another was creating an interactive water quality map using Python. If you are having problems in accessing the lectures of this course, you can simply go to the playlist section of this videos, and then you can choose for this one, and you can see that all the lectures, the 7 lectures that has been uploaded till now, are all found here, so you can watch them in sequence, right? Okay, moving forward, so we have till now completed 8 lectures. Now we are into the module number 4. So here I will update the lecture number 8 and lecture number 9's details, and then the next module that we will be completing or starting will be the functions, loop and control flow, which will be somewhere in the next week. I will announce it on the various platforms that I have given. After module number 5, we will be going to module number 6, that is object oriented programming. Then we will go to module number 7, that is file handling and introduction to pandas. Then we will be moving towards advanced pandas, functionalities and geopandas. Module 9 number is all about geospatial analysis and some real world case studies that we will be seeing using this. And then 10, there will be some more case studies based on what we have already discussed in the group. And if you have still not registered for this course using LinkedIn, email or the links provided in the description, then you can do it again. The links are again given in the description. Right. So another thing, that I will be sharing some files with you on my channel. So for that you need to go to the community section of this channel, and then you can get the link of the files here, right? But those files will only be valid for 24 hours. So what you need to do is you need to first subscribe, and then you can select this all notifications, so that whenever I upload that file, the notification will directly go to your phones and you can download it. If you don't need that file, no need to subscribe. Okay, let's move forward to lecture number 9 right now. Okay, so let's start the proceedings. First we will open Anaconda prompt, and then we will type Jupyter notebook, hit enter, and then your notebooks will open. Alright, it has opened now. Now we go to new and open a new notebook. So the agenda for today's lecture is that we will be understanding more about the lists. Okay, so let us first define a list. So let's say, okay, before we do that, let us save this as lecture number 9, right? Okay, so now let us create a list first. One, two, three, right? Now there are various functions that you can apply to this list, and some of these functions we will see today, and the remaining functions you will have to learn it from your own, because not everything can be taught in the small scope of this course. Okay, because Python is very vast, and if you try to learn everything before coding, then you will never be able to code, because things are not going to end. So you just need to get a basic glimpse of things and how they work. Okay, so now to get the functions associated with lists, we will do this thing. We will type the name of the list followed by a dot, and then we will hit the tab button. Now you can see there are various functions that are coming: append, clear, copy, count, extend, index, pop, remove, reverse. You can read about each and every function given here, and let's start learning about some of them now. Alright, before we do that, let us give a name to today's lecture, or not a name, or rather a heading. Let us write it list methods. Make it as a comment. So go to markdown and then run this cell. Okay, now we define A as a list, or let us change this list to something else. Let's say I have a list of certain countries. India, Switzerland, South Africa. Okay, here it is a string, so I need to put everything in a comma, single inverted comma. Alright, so let us save this list. Now let's say that I want to insert something at the start of this list, that is another name, and the index number for that place will be 0, because anything at the starting will be starting from 0. So we will use the following syntax. First we will type A followed by a dot, and then we can hit the tab button or simply write insert. We hit the tab button and select this insert. You can also type insert here, and then we write the index number 0, and then we write the name of the place which we want to insert in a single inverted comma, and then we run this. Okay, so there is no error here. It means that it has taken the name into its list. Now let's see what is A now. So A is now Australia, India, Switzerland and South Africa. Okay, so therefore we can insert new things into the list by using this command. If you want to enter something at the end, then you can use the index number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, the minimum number that you have to put is 4, but even if you put, let's say, 7, and then you put the name of the country which you want to insert, it will insert the country at the end of this string, because after 4 it does not matter at which place you are trying to insert. So even if you put 4 or 7, it will give the same output. There is also a specific function known as append, which you can use in order to create elements in the list at its end. Okay, so to access it, we type A dot and then we hit the tab button, then we will see that append comes. Okay, so we have tried to append Germany at the end of this list. So let's see whether it's correct or not. Right, so it is working. Again, if we have the capability to add something, then we must have the capability to remove something from the list also. Okay, and to use it, we use a code known as pop. Okay, now if you don't provide any parameter at the end, then if you run this, it will simply pop the last element. Okay, and then if you try to reprint the list, you see that Germany has been removed. But in case you want to remove a specific element from this, then now we want to remove the element at, let's say, index number 0. Okay, so Australia has been removed. Now let's say I want to again remove an element from the index 0. India has been removed. Similarly, you can remove elements from other indices also. Okay, now let's see what is remaining in A. So A has 2 elements. Okay, now I want to remove one more element from this to check one conclusion that we are now going to draw. Okay, so now only Switzerland is left. Now you might be knowing that if there is only one element, then this should be a string, because now there are no multiple elements in this thing. So let us check it, what kind of element A is. It is showing it as a list. You are getting the point? For even if one element is left in a list, it will not be called as a string. It will still be a list only. But in case of tuples, this is not the case. If only one element is present in the tuple, and if that is a string, then that will not be called as a tuple, rather it will be called as a string. And if an integer is left, or if a float is left, then it will be called as float and integer respectively. Clear? Now you can also add multiple elements to the list in one step, and to do that we use the extend function. Okay, let's say that you want to retrieve all your lost elements. Okay, so we go from here and then we copy this and we paste it here. Right, this can be removed because this is already there. Okay, now let's print A. Now you can see that here South Africa is coming twice, and that is because of a simple error that we committed in the last step. So I will just explain it to you what is happening wrong here. So here we had removed the element at place number 0. So Switzerland was removed, right? So therefore the thing that was removed in A was Switzerland, and the list that was still remaining there was South Africa. Now let us create another list. Okay, so let's say that so we created a list, and now I want to check the index of any element. Of course, one way to do is what we have learned in the previous data types, but here we will do it with a predefined function itself. So we will hit the tab button and then we will see index. Let's say that you want to check the index of 3. So index here is 2, as very evident from the things. You might be getting confused here in the types of brackets that are being used, but you don't need to worry, because if there is a square bracket used here and you run this command, there will be some error. Okay, and that will show up in the error response code. You can simply correct it. So by hit and trial and learning, by more practicing, you will get used to these things. And these all things in coding are just to make you understand how and why coding is different from other human languages, because there everything we do is logical, sequenced, whereas in humans many of things are pretty much pre-understood. Okay, so even if I make a facial expression to a human, the human will understand what I want to say. But with respect to computer, if things are not defined in a logical and meaningful sequence, it will not get executed. Okay, regarding this coding and all, I have another course on ChatGPT in which I have taught several things which you can do with ChatGPT that will enhance your productivity to a much more higher level than what you currently are. Okay, so in that course I have also taught certain methods by which you can code automatically for any case. Yes, you should have a little bit knowledge about Python, which you are already getting from this course, but even after learning this course completely, you want to write codes without typing even a single line of code, then you can learn that from that course. Okay, the link is available in the description. In that course we will also be covering how to handle errors, because many a times you might be getting some errors while running your code, and not every error can be understood by human, because many a times we may face errors which we have not read about. Okay, even today it happens with me. So the easiest way to error handling is by ChatGPT and Google Bard or Microsoft Bing AI. You can use all these tools. If you know it, very good. If you don't know, you can check the course in the description. Anyways, let's not divert much and continue to what we are doing. Now let's say that I want to reverse the order of this string that is given here and want to make it 987654321. Okay, why we are doing it does not make any sense now, but it is necessary in some codes. Okay, so there are predefined functions by which you can do that. You can also do it by coding it logically, that we have done it in our undergraduate lessons, the palindrome and all those things. So here to do that, there are predefined functions. We just use the command and then we see reverse. Okay, then you simply put a parenthesis and then run it, and now you print B. Okay, so you see it has been reversed. The next topic that comes into this list of data structures is sets. So we have already studied about tuples, lists, and now we come to sets. Now there is not much to understand in sets, but still we will try to do 1 or 2 codes on this in order to get a feeling of completion of data structures. So to make a set, let us first define a list. So let's say A is equals to okay, so this is our set 1. Another set we can define as right. Now I want to combine these two sets in a single set. Okay, so sorry, I want to combine these two lists in a single list. So I will use the command that is extend A to B. Okay, and then it has been extended. Now I want to create a list out of this set A. Okay, so let's create a set out of this list A. So I want to create a set known as S from the list A. Okay, so let's print S. Right, so you can see that there is a set here. The difference between A and S is that here you can see multiple elements that are repeating itself, 3, 5, 7, 9, but here all the elements are written one time. So we don't use set that much, therefore we will not learn about this in detail. Now we will move to the next data structure type, that is dictionary. So dictionary is a very useful data structure type that has been provided in Python for us. Oh, sorry, let us write it as a comment. Okay. Now next we are going to read about dictionary. This is another and the last data structure type that we are going to read. Now dictionary is a very important data structure. I will tell you why it is so. Let's consider a rain gauge R1. Okay. Now R1. So now to define R1, let us say that we are trying the conventional method of list. So first we will need to put its elevation, its latitude. Let's say that the latitude is 20. Then its longitude. Then let's say its elevation. Let us say 500 meters. Then the reading of the rain gauge in the next 12 months. Okay. So let's say we are taking the readings for 2024. And the readings are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the sequence of the values that we have put is R1, which is the rain gauge station, 2080 are the latitudes, longitudes, 500 is the elevation, 2024 is the year in which we are recording the rain gauge, the rainfall at the rain gauge, and 1 to 12 are the values for the 12 months respectively. Let's run this code. So now it has been saved as a list, but the problem here is whenever you want to retrieve, let's say, the rainfall for the third month, now out of all these values you will not understand which one is the rainfall for which month. Okay, because all these are stored as a number itself. There are no keys by which we can recall it. Okay, so right now I have told you that this is this value, but if you are randomly looking at a code, or if you want to retrieve something from your code, then you will find it very difficult to extract it without a key if there are a large number of values associated with it. So therefore, to accompany this, we put a dictionary. Okay, now to put things in another perspective, let us try this small code. Okay. Now we will try to run another code. Okay, so open another notebook because this is not a part of this one, and now try running the code from the file which I have given you in the description. So you copy this file and then you paste it here and then you run this. Now it is a simple file in which there is a node. Now what is a node? If we are designing the water distribution network for an area, let's say this area, so now there will be several nodes through which pipelines will be connected. So this is as simple as that. Now at this node we have stored several values at each node. Okay, now to retrieve those values we can simply write a code so such that if we click on any of the nodes, all the parameters will show to us. So there are 3 nodes here. Let's say I click on this. So now it is saying that it is node number 2 and the demand here is 750 liters per second. Similarly, on this node number 1, the demand is 500 liters per second, and on node number 3 the demand is 600 liters per second. This just shows that if we have data arranged with a key or an index, then it is much easier. You can try this yourself, and I have already made a video on how to create such interactive web maps. You can watch this video in the playlist section, which is I think the lecture number 4 or 5. Okay, so we close this for now and then move on to dictionaries again. So now we need another method in order to define our data sets in a different format, so that everything is stored in a way that it is very easier to retrieve using it as a key. So let us make the first dictionary. So to do that, we give it a name, let's say R1, or sorry, D1, and then we use the curly brackets. So first one was your latitude. So now let us try creating a dictionary. So this is the format in which we will create a dictionary. Okay, so you can either copy this or you can. So this is the format in which we create a dictionary. So let us have the name as my dictionary, and we can rename it as R2. Now what it is saying that key 1. So here you have to say that what parameters are you defining. So let's say I'm defining latitude here. Okay, and the value of the latitude is, let's say, 20. Okay, see, here is a semicolon followed by a comma. So now it will recognize the values as a proper format. Okay, so let us divide. So let us define only 4 variables for now. So now you can see with this kind of assignment, we are clearly able to see what is 20, what is 80, what is 500 and 2024. So this is a dictionary, as simple as that. Now we run this. Okay, so it has taken. So let's see what is type R2. So it is showing us as a dictionary. Now there are various operations which we can do on dictionaries. Let us see them one by one. Now let's say you want to identify what is the longitude of this R2. So you can simply write a code, print so if we do it in this format, it is retrieving the value as 20, correct? Now let's say that I want to retrieve the value of the reading of the station in January for the station R2. Okay, so we run this, but we can see that it is showing that key error January. It means January here it is not defined, which is true also, that here we have only restricted our input to here. So now since it is throwing some error, so what we will do is in the dictionary R2 we will define a new variable that is a value for the January. Okay, so here let's say the value for January was 1, so we will try introducing new elements into this dictionary, and to do that you can write this in the simple format and then you can hit enter. Now you try to print what is R2. Okay, so you can see that apart from all the parameters that had been defined earlier, January has also came. Okay, so you can introduce all the parameters which were earlier not there. You can also change the values that are mentioned here. For example, let's say that from the latitude 20 degree you want to change it to a latitude of 30 degree. So how to do that? So you can write this code in the simple format and then you can run this cell, and then we try to print R2, and you can see that the latitude from 20 has been changed to a latitude of 30. Now I am giving you a list of some more codes. For example, if you want to remove an entry from this dictionary or you want to edit something, what codes should you be using? Okay, obviously the one way to do is that you can just use the previous method R2 dot and then you hit the tab and then it will show you all the available options that you can do it with it. But here I'm giving everything as a comment so that you can read and understand what things can be actually done from here. So you can convert it to markdown and then you run it. So now you can see that there are the functions which are predefined: keys, values, items, pop, clear. You might have run and understood about this in the previous section, so no need of repetition. Okay, so with this we come to an end of dictionaries. If you have a doubt, you can ask me here in the comment section. It will be really helpful if you can just like this video. Thanks for watching. Have a very nice day. The next videos will be coming very soon.